farthest you've hit one here at the stadium, or what's the farthest you have hit one?
In a game or in batting practice?
No, just in practice, just when you're batting practice, just whatever.
I've hit him farther in batting practice.
Hit him farther? Okay. If anyone else wants to take questions.
Hey, so I guess I'll ask you this first. What was your vantage point during the sixth inning, and what do you think kind of transpired at the bottom of the sixth inning when all the runs came?
Honestly, I'm not very sure. I just know like the team kind of locked it in. We started playing together, so that was a big like up for us. We kind of just got comfortable with that guy throwing, and we made him pay for it.
One thing that I think I noticed was, were you hit by a pitch in that inning? I feel like you were hit by a pitch in that inning.
After the home run, when I got up again, yeah, I was hit by a pitch.
And how is there a kind of how much psychological how psychological is that whenever you get up there and you can see a pitcher kind of like an old pressure type situation? How do you as a batter approach that?
Well, like I kind of noticed he was wild warming up and going in there, and we knew that he was a heavy two-seam guy. So I honestly kind of expected to get hit. I just was going to wear it, take my base. That's what I did. Did you hear that?
I got a question for you. As far as like the totality of this team, obviously you had 3 home runs in this one, which doubled your season total. I know they're only 5 games in, but what do you think will be the identity of the offense this year? Do you think power is going to be a big part of that, or is it just going to be stringing together hits, or is it going to be a combo?
I think it's a combination of everything. We got guys who can hit for power. We got guys who are contactors. We got guys who got skills to them. So I think we're pretty set offensively in all aspects.
I mean, already through 5 games, we've seen the lineup kind of shift around quite a bit, different guys in the outfield. The lineups guys kind of flipping back and forth. Is that something you expect to see throughout this season, and kind of how does that change your mentality of guys moving around the lineup?
I don't think our mentalities really change. We just, wherever coach puts us, we go in there and we do our job. Whether we're hitting top of the order, bottom of the order, you still got to be the same hitter you are.
Thank you.
Yeah, Chris, before we get off here, I had one quick question for you. I wanted to ask you about if you had any, if you have any nicknames or any like shorter names you go by with the team or anything like that. You know what I mean? I was just curious if you have any nicknames.
Not here.
No?
I just get called by my name here.
Yeah, I got you. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Hey, did you have a nickname somewhere else?
In high school, I did.
What was that story?
I got called Rook in high school because I was a freshman on varsity. So I was called Rook. Back home, that's what people call me. They don't call me by my name.
Appreciate it, Chris.
Yeah.
All righty. Looks like we got Parker here, so I'll let you guys go ahead and ask away.
All right, Parker. I'll get you first. 6 innings, 4 hits. You had 84 pitches. I know that they ended up stacking some runs there in the 6th that you didn't need to come back out. But do you feel like you could have gone farther kind of at this point in the season? How do you feel?
Yeah, I felt good pretty much the whole way. Rob told me I was going to go back out for the 7th, and luckily we put up some runs, so kind of yanked me at that point. So it was good.
How'd you feel about kind of the stuff when you were out there? I mean, you 7 strikeouts in 6 innings. I mean, you were pretty efficient the entire way, but just from your perspective, how did it feel coming out of your hand?
I mean, Rob had a good game plan going in. After watching yesterday, they pretty much took every off speed early in the count, and so Rob told me, get your off speed working early. You got to dump it in there 0-0, 0-1. So worked on that early in the pen, and luckily threw everything for strikes and got ahead, and that's what helped my pitch count, I think.
Thank you.
Yeah, Parker, how did it feel to pitch for the first time here? How to start a game in O'Brien?
A lot different than LAP. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. What are some things that this park just kind of offers, or things that you notice as a pitcher when you're out there on the mound that are different from LAP?
Honestly, it feels more like college. LAP just kind of not to crap on LAP, but it's just kind of dead a lot. And being out here, it's a lot more live, and the atmosphere is unreal to play in. So it was fun.
Appreciate it.
Uh-huh.
Hey Parker, so I'll ask you, what kind of went in? What was your vantage point for that sixth inning, especially on the bottom half of that inning?
Do what?
What was your vantage point for watching the batters kind of get a lot of runs right in the bottom half of the sixth?
I think everyone in the dugout just kind of loosened up, and I was locked in, ready to go for the seventh, and then like I said, Rob kind of told me I'm done after that. But I wanted to go another one.
What things have you kind of noticed from being on when you're on the mound, and especially whenever there's a jam, for instance? What things are kind of going through your mind in that scenario? Because I think that happened a few times today.
Yeah, you just got to check everything down and really focus on executing the pitch where it needs to be, not to hang anything, throw strikes, obviously. So really locking in on your command at that point to get a ground ball or something.
And then once you're taken out of the game and another pitcher is in, how does that kind of change for you? Are you more vocal for the pitchers, or like how does that discussion kind of go?
Yeah, right when you're out of the game, you're always on your pitcher's side, getting their back and cheering them on and telling them to trust their stuff if they're not doing well, stuff like that. So yeah, just kind of be a cheerleader for everyone on the staff when they come out.
I appreciate it, Parker.
Welcome.
Parker, from your kind of mentality, your vantage point, what is the identity of this team from your perspective? Obviously, you started out strong, but the offense took a little while longer to get going. You're around these guys a lot. You see them in practice. Is that something you expect quite a bit, is to really have to shut down the team to stay in it, or?
No, we have a really good lineup. Unfortunately, it took a while for them to get going, but our lineup 1 through 9 and guys on the bench, they can all rake. So it just took a little bit.
Ryan touched on it a little bit, but more about O'Brien. A lot of pitchers and batters talk about a pitcher's ballpark or vice versa. What is the feel of, obviously you dominated today, but just from what you've experienced in practice over the last few weeks and months, what does it feel like for a pitcher to be up on the mound and see balls go around?
9 times out of 10, wind's blowing out, so it's definitely a hitter's ballpark, but gaps play big, and then down the lines play somewhat small. So just a key to keep the ball on the ground, throw everything it needs. So
thank you.
Uh-huh.
Anything else for Parker? We got Coach here ready to go if not. So, all righty. All right. Josh, jump on. Thanks, Parker.
Appreciate y'all.
Fire away, fellas.
Hey, Josh, what are your early thoughts on the game?
Well, definitely built that game on Parker's start, and obviously didn't create any separation there until that 6-run inning. But Parker threw the ball very well. He executed all of his pitches. His changeup in particular looked to be excellent. I thought, add to that, good offense in the first inning, chance to score again in the third. We got to capitalize when we get guys to third base, but we'll keep working on that. Christian's homer was big, and you got a 2-0 game, and it's tight going into the bottom of the sixth, where we erupted, and a couple of long balls, put some breathing room in there for us. But it was a good win for the team to get out here back-to-back days and continue to get guys to the plate and get some rhythm. I saw better at bats out of some guys, which is always positive. And then from there, just another very well pitched game with good defense and some timely hits that gave us the victory.
Let's talk a little bit more about that sixth inning, because I think that was probably the main thing that happened in this game. What did you kind of notice from the pitcher that was out there at the beginning, and then after that change, what changed?
Well, the starter did a good job of keeping the ball down and keeping us from elevating the ball and the barrel in the air. That particular inning, we got a few pitches that we could barrel that were more elevated in the hitting zone, which created obviously two or three strong guys hitting the ball up into the air with some authority when Brock's home run and Cade's home run. So, we got some better pitches to hit. We did a good job of working the at-bats and the counts until those pitches showed up. And then when guys are on base and the pitcher feels a little bit of pressure, you got a better chance to get a mistake. And then when those mistakes showed up, the guys capitalized. So I felt real good about that. I think anytime you get in the bullpen of the other team, they're bringing guys in they think can match up, and it just takes one guy to maybe not have his best day, and you have a chance to put some runs up. So we did a good job of getting in their bullpen a little earlier today than we did yesterday, and then when we got mistakes, we didn't miss them.
Thanks, Josh.
You're welcome.
Coach, how was it? How did Cade react to hitting that ball out of there? What did it do? Did it do a good thing for this team just to get behind, a guy like that to finally see one go out for him?
Oh yeah, I think anytime you start barreling the ball, your self-confidence goes through the roof. When early season, you're trying to get the swing going, get your self-confidence going, contribute, help win. I mean, all those are the emotions that run through the players that, especially guys that want to do well, they feel a responsibility to produce. So I felt very good about, Cade's defense to this point has been really good, and he's been kind of knocking on the door of getting some balls barreled. And then that big home run to left field obviously was a big blow in today's game. So obviously that's going to add to his confidence and make him excited to get back out here tomorrow.
And what did you think made Parker so successful today?
It always starts in Parker with his poise. He seems to always manage himself quite well. I thought his changeup was super effective the first time through. They made some adjustments, and he did as well. So just his maturity, his poise, and then, as we've said before, he's got 4 good pitches. He can use the fastball, the curve, the cutter, and the change. And he did that and kept some pretty darn good hitters off balance along the way.
Coach, thanks for your time, and I definitely had a much better view of the ballpark today than I did in my dorm room yesterday.
Attaboy, Ben. Glad you came. Anything else, guys?
Yeah, Coach, I had a question about just now that you've had a few games in O'Bray. Does it play any differently than you expected it to that you've seen in practice? I know Parker touched on a little bit. Wind always blown out. Kind of the gaps play big. But have you noticed anything that's kind of changed your approach of how you maybe shift some outfielders or approach any of that?
Well, I think definitely the wind today is strong. It looks like out of the south, maybe southeast, blowing, the ball across from right field to center and center straight out to left. So the ball definitely got some help working its way towards left field. We've been under the lights more this week than we had all fall long. So seeing the ballpark at night has been good. Seeing how the lights play has been good. We didn't get outside under the lights in the fall more than a handful of times. So definitely getting a better feel for the park at night with the lights on, that's for sure. And then, I'd say from there, I think game 1, the wind was coming in a little bit. We had a north breeze on Wednesday, I believe. There was a north breeze, which will definitely make left field tougher to reach and makes the ball to right field. When the wind comes out of the west, it pushes the ball across. So each day is a new day, as is the weather patterns in Oklahoma in February and March, as you know. So you kind of roll out here and you see how the park's playing, and at times that can tailor a little bit of your strategy offensively, whether you want to try to get some balls elevated or maybe you got to run the bases and put the ball on the ground a little bit. You just got to have the ability to win different types of games with different types of skills.
Thank you, Coach.
Yep. That it, guys? Thank you.
Thanks.